The Nashville real estate market is as hot as our summer temperatures. I'm breaking down what you need to know about where we've been, what's happening now, and where we're expected to go in today's video. Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Caitlin Martin and I am a local Nashville real estate agent, and I specialize in helping out-of-staters relocate to the Middle Tennessee area. If this is your first time stopping by my channel, thank you so much. Please feel free to click subscribe down below so that you're notified anytime I release new video content. So today we are talking about the current state of the Nashville real estate market. We are on fire. We are as hot as the summer temperatures and the humidity that we are dealing with right now. So what does that mean? We are continuing to see homes go exceedingly over list price. I know I've talked about this before. Back in February of 2021, we were able to secure homes going just $15,000 over, and unfortunately, we are at a point now where, especially in certain markets like Williamson County, the $15,000 is not gonna cut it anymore. We are now seeing homes go for 60, 75, 100, 125 over. It's kind of insane. So that's where we are at right now. But let's take a look at what the numbers are from May of 2020. Those numbers just came out from the Greater Nashville Realtors. So what are they showing us and where are we headed? So let's take a look at these numbers. If you are looking at home sales in May of 2021 compared to May of 2020, home sales are up 24%. So let's actually break that down a little bit, because yes, that is a huge number. But back in March of 2020, our real estate market towards the end of March came to a screeching halt because the onset of the pandemic, and everybody was wondering what is happening. So then in the beginning of May of 2020, that's when we started to see this really strong buyer demand start. So May of 2020 did have strong sales, but again, I think people were still getting their bearings, figuring out how to move forward in what we were dealing with at the time. And so that 24% continues to speak to this extremely strong buyer demand that we continue to see in the Middle Tennessee area. So we are continuing to see strong demand coming from places like California, New York, Chicago. We just continue to see this flooding of out-of-staters coming into our market. And so we're still dealing with low inventory, but we are still dealing with really strong high buyer demand. So that is what is, leading into that 24% hike in sales. So even though we're still dealing with low inventory, buyers are still landing homes and they are getting them closed and getting them moved in. And so really and truly, like I mentioned earlier in the video, so even at the beginning of this year, yes, we were still, since May of 2020, we started to, each month we started to see an uptick in the demand that we were seeing from out-of-staters. And then even in January of this year, we started to notice that it was more activity than usual. And then March hit, and within a matter of 2-3 weeks, our real estate market really took off at lightning speed. It's almost like the roller coaster at the Rock and Roll roller coaster there at Disney, where it just like goes from 0 to 60 real fast. That's almost how it felt like in terms of just the way the market changed. Like I mentioned, we were able to go 15,000 over and secure a home in February, and by the end of March, that wasn't doable. We were starting to see prices really escalate from there in terms of what people were offering over list price. So I know that people are wondering, are we dealing with a bubble? What is going to happen? Is the market going to come back down? So that is something that I am hearing and being asked constantly. So I figure we might as well go ahead and tackle that question. So we are seeing strong demand. We are seeing our real estate numbers jump all over the place because of the strong demand. We're seeing multiple offers going extremely over list. And it's to the point now where you almost have to start when you're budgeting, say, okay, our budget may be $600,000, but I mean, you're starting to look significantly under that to allow you the ability to scale. But so when we're talking about a bubble, we right now, like I've mentioned, we are still dealing with low supply and this high demand. So back in May of 2020, when things started taking off, we had this crazy demand and we still didn't have all the supply to meet the demand, and we've only continued to chase that demand, but our supply still has not caught up. So, and we are continuing to see more and more companies relocating here. And so we are expected to continue to see this really strong buyer demand for the next 3 to 4 years. So it does not look like Nashville is going to be a bubble that's bursting anytime soon, because we're still trying to just keep up with the demand that just continues to be fueled into our market. I mean, companies like Oracle announced that they were bringing their headquarters here. You got Amazon here. You have AllianceBernstein coming. There are so many companies within the last year that have announced that they are moving their headquarters to Nashville or the Middle Tennessee area. And so with that are coming jobs. Again, more people are coming because of those jobs. And so Nashville, while it's not fun necessarily to deal with those, exceedingly over list price, while I know that's not fun to deal with, we are fortunate in that Nashville is kind of really becoming this it town. I mean, it's been a hot transplant relocation town for the better part of 10 years, but now we are just seeing this like new flood coming into our market of just companies relocating here. And part of the reasons are, not only are people relocating here personally because of, no state income tax, low property taxes, but, lower cost of living. And I know that people will make comments and be like, it's so expensive there. Well, I mean, we are dealing with inflation, but if you're looking at where these people are typically coming from versus what it costs now in the Middle Tennessee area, we're still more affordable. And then you look at these businesses. Okay, why are businesses coming here? That's going to continue to fuel our economy, fuel our real estate market. Again, you're looking at things like it's better taxes for businesses. Again, you're not dealing with necessarily all the red tape that they were dealing with in their previous states and their previous locations. Let's address going over list price, because I know, again, that can be a real sticking point and can be hard for people to digest. But nationwide, we are typically seeing homes appreciate about 1% a month right now, just because of the way the real estate market, outside of Nashville, there are several markets around the country that are just on fire like we are. But Nashville, if you actually look at the numbers for Nashville in general, in the Middle Tennessee area, we're actually closer to 4% appreciation month over month. So while yes, you are buying at a higher price point, especially with the continued, demand that we are expected to see over the next 3 to 4 years, just with the appreciation, hopefully that can help you feel a little bit better about the decision you're making. Right now, this is what the market's doing, and we can give you the best tools. I can give you the best tools to make the best offer that you are able to make. But if you're wanting to get into Nashville, knowing the demand that's coming, knowing where prices are going, even though it's like they say, it's the best day was today, but the next best day is going to be tomorrow versus 5 months down the road, 12 months down the road, because again, we're just continuing to see this flood of businesses, flood of people coming here. And we're very fortunate in a lot of ways to know that we are just going to continue to be on fire for the next couple of years. So when I'm talking about average, prices, what are homes selling for, let's actually take a look at the numbers for Franklin, Brentwood, and Nolensville. Okay, so when I'm talking about the average sales price, let's actually take a look at the numbers for what the average sales price were in May of 2021. So let's take a look at Franklin first. If you look at Franklin, the average sales price in Franklin for May of 2021 was $722,759. Now, I know that before we've looked at price I know before in previous updates that the price point has been higher. This does not mean that the prices in Franklin are dropping. It's just a snapshot of what sold in the month of May. And so that means, you're likely the homes that are on the market were closer to that price point. Again, doesn't mean that prices are dropping. It's just what was on the market last time versus what was on the market this time. Now let's take a look at Brentwood. In Brentwood, in May of 2021, the average sales price was $913,661. And then let's take a look at Nolensville as well. The average sales price in May of 2021 was $554,735. So these are things to keep in mind if you are searching in these areas. Now again, these price points can skew, but that was what the average sales price was in May of 2021. So that hopefully that gives you a little bit of an idea. Now, if we're looking at the percentage of list price for these homes that sold, they are all at 100+%. So if you are hoping that you could offer below asking or even just barely over asking, these homes are going for exceedingly over. And so if you're interested in a particular home, even though comps are constantly changing, it's a matter of, okay, well, how much over list have people gone? And then that can help you kind of start to formulate a little bit of a game plan in terms of how can you put your best foot forward when it comes to putting together an offer. Let's, kind of recap what we're dealing with here. For buyers are still getting low interest rate, which still makes it a great time to buy. And with the expected demand that's supposed to continue over the next couple of years, the best time is to get in now versus later, because you're going to end up paying more later versus now. So even though it can be competitive, you're going to want an agent who's on your team, who knows how to write the winning offers, who knows how to get your offer to the top of the pile when it comes, and who also has a couple of strategies of how maybe you can snag a home without necessarily having to fight 30 other people for it. Now, if you are a seller or thinking about selling, there has literally never been a better time to sell in Nashville. Now, if you're wondering, okay, well, where do I go? We can definitely talk strategies about how to sell in this market and make sure you don't end up homeless and that you have a fabulous new place to go to, whether you're upgrading or downsizing, whatever it may be. But sellers are in the driver's seat, and I know that can be a hard thing for buyers because you want to, I know that egos can get involved and you can want to feel competitive, but right now sellers are in the driver's seat, and so knowing that ahead of time can help you mentally put yourself in the place that is going to best serve you when it comes to trying to win out in this market. So if you have any questions about the Nashville real estate market, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. All of my contact information is below. I'm Caitlin Martin. I'll see you next time.